Hey guys, this is Steven from Nikola Pro. Today I'm going to show you how to install the trim sections of our Model S Chrome Delete Kit. The full kit can be found on our website at nikolapro.com. Just a few notes before we get started. The backing paper of the vinyl is pre-cut into sections, and I recommend you follow the same order for removing the backing paper as shown in the video. You also notice that each piece is labeled. The first letter indicates which side it is for, D for driver, P for passenger. The second letter indicates the section, in this case T for trim. The number at the end indicates the order in which to install them. The trim section that we're doing today contains 4 pieces, T1 through T4. It's important to note that there are 2 different versions of the Model S lower door trims. There is no concrete year when this change was made, but newer Model S vehicles no longer have chrome wrapping all the way around the edges. If your vehicle is newer, you will need to cut the edges off at that labeled cut line. Lastly, since we're using the new 3M2080 material, the gloss finishes have a protective layer on top. This layer is to be removed after installation by picking up the edge of the vinyl and peeling it off. Do not remove this layer until the piece is completely installed. Also ensure that your vehicle is completely clean and free of any dust or debris before starting. Let's get to the install. Starting off with T1, you will notice 2 arrows. One points to the front of the vehicle and the other should point upwards. Peel off the first section of backing paper at the back corner and align it so there is equal overlap on all sides. You can lift up and reapply the vinyl to get it aligned correctly. Remove the next piece of backing paper on top and align it so there's equal overlap on the top and bottom. Push firmly on the vinyl. Continue doing this until all the backing paper has been removed from the top section. Continue to the bottom section, removing each piece of backing paper. Align it so it covers the chrome at the bottom but does not touch the paint. Don't fold over the end just yet. Go over the entire piece folding over the edges. Use the felt side of the squeegee to tuck in the vinyl. Use the heat gun to soften the vinyl at the back corner and fold it over. Use the heat gun on the inside corner and tuck in the vinyl using the hard side of the squeegee. Fold over the end piece at the bottom one flap at a time. Use the heat gun to soften the vinyl and apply pressure with your fingers. Go over the entire piece one last time to remove any remaining bubbles. Moving on to T2, you will notice the same two arrows. One points to the front of the vehicle and the other should point to the ground. Ensure you have the piece in the correct orientation. You will also notice a cut line on the end closest to the front of the vehicle. If you have a newer Model S without the chrome on the edge, this end will need to be cut off using a pair of scissors. Start off at the side closest to the back of the vehicle. Align it so there's a small amount of overlap barely covering the weather seal. Align the edge just before the overlap begins. Move on to the next piece of backing paper and apply pressure onto the top for now. Continue until all the backing paper sections have been removed. Now begin to fold over the bottom half. Move slowly in small sweeps to avoid any vinyl bunching up. Use the felt side of the large squeegee to tuck in the bottom initially, then use the hard side to finish the job. Tuck in the top into the weather seal using the hard side of the squeegee. Fold over the edge one flap at a time, then use the heat gun to soften the vinyl and fold it over with your fingers. Use the smaller squeegee to get into the hard to reach areas. Continue this process for the other half. For T3, align it so the arrows point to the front of the car and down. There's a cut line on the other side for new Model S vehicles. Start off on the end closest to the mirror and leave a small amount of overlap on the top. Continue this along the entire piece. Apply pressure on the bottom half slowly. Tuck in the overlap on the bottom using the larger squeegee. Move to the top and tuck in the vinyl between the trim and the weather seal. Fold over the edge one flap at a time. Apply heat to soften the vinyl and use your fingers to fold it over. Continue this process for the other half. The last piece is T4. Align it so the arrows point towards the front of the vehicle and down. Remove the first piece of backing paper closest to the mirror. Align it so that there is equal overlap on the bottom and both sides. Continue aligning it so that vinyl is close to the paint on the top but does not touch it. Fold over the bottom using your finger. Heat up the overlap and fold it over. Continue going down the piece, removing one section of backing paper at a time. The very end will overlap with T1 for durability and coverage. Use the larger squeegee to tuck in the top and use your fingers on the bottom. Thank you guys for watching. As always, you can contact us any day of the week via email, through our website, or on Twitter.